Tune into the Green and Growing program on Eagle Community Television with Holly Dickman, Ellis County Horticulture Agent. Holly will identify common lawn and garden issues and provide up-to-date information weekdays at noon and 9 p.m. on Channel 14. Green and Growing. Brought to you by Eagle Community Television and Riedel's Garden Center, a full-service garden center west of Hayes on Highway 40 next to the Bickles-Schmidt Sports Complex.
Well, pumpkins are certainly growing, and lots of people have zucchini in their gardens. And if you've grown some of these plants in the past, you may have had experience with a really pesky pest, and that's the squash bug. You need to be really vigilant about searching for squash bugs. Scout your plants and look for them, because at the end of the growing season they can be absolutely devastating to some of our crops. They can do a lot of damage. And so when you're looking for squash bugs, first of all, you want to make sure and kind of look at the undersides of the leaves, because that is where they will deposit their eggs. Fortunately, here at the Ag Research Center, they've been doing a good job of scouting for squash bugs, and they haven't had too much of an issue with them. But if you find squash bug eggs, they will be a small cluster of red little, almost like the end of a push pin sized eggs, and they will be in a little cluster. And that's a sign that you need to get ready to spray, or you need to go ahead and remove those eggs or do something. Squash bugs then, soon after you find those eggs, will be hatching. And that's when they're in the nymphal stage, or the very soft-bodied stage, the young stage, and that's when they are easiest to take care of or to remove or to kill with insecticides. So you want to make sure and search your plants. If you find some little soft-bodied crawling bugs crawling all over your plants, most likely that's insects called squash bugs, and you can go ahead and use a general use garden insecticide like permethrin or Sevin, Malathion, some of those other ones, and try to control them then. If they get to the large size, the mature size, which is the gray shield-shaped bug that oftentimes you will see on plants like this, that's a point where it's very difficult to control those insects, and it's almost impossible to get good control with insecticides. Their bodies are harder, they're not as easily penetrated by that insecticide, and so they're very difficult to control. Now, squash bugs have 2 generations a season, so the ones you're seeing right now are most likely the first generation, and that's one that you hopefully can get under control, because that's the one that will produce that second generation a little bit later in the season, and they are very prolific, so we will have tons of squash bugs at the end of the season, whereas now we might just have a few hundred. So you want to make sure and look for those squash bugs, look at the leaves, check out all your plants. If you don't like to use insecticides, you can certainly remove those egg masses as you find them. Some people like to use a piece of sticky tape and just peel the eggs off the leaf. Another thing you can do is put some flat pieces of board or something down at the base of the plant, and during the daytime, those squash bugs will hide underneath of there. You can remove that and then either smash them, or I've even heard some people getting pretty creative and even vacuuming them up. So if you like to have a more organic approach to gardening, that's one option to consider. If you have questions about how to control squash bugs or how to deal with other pests in your garden, please contact your local extension office for more information. Reporting for K-State Research and Extension and Eagle TV, I'm Holly Dickman, Ellis County Horticulture Extension Agent.
Tune into the Green and Growing program on Eagle Community Television with Holly Dickman, Ellis County Horticulture Agent. Holly will identify common lawn and garden issues and provide up-to-date information weekdays at noon and 9 p.m. on Channel 14. Green and Growing. Brought to you by Eagle Community Television and Riedel's Garden Center, a full-service garden center west of Hayes on Highway 40 next to the Bickles-Schmidt Sports Complex.